late pick 5 opportunity. Race favorite is Bello Venino. Post time in 5 minutes. Still time for your wagers. Race 5, we're on the turf to start the late pick 5. Approaching the starting gate, they're stepping on the turf. The horses are at the gate. It's now post time. Moving in for a start, race number 5, late pick 5. It starts right here. Bella Veneno is 7-5. 5-2, La Cantera. Bella Veneno going forward. Mitriguana to the outside. They're at the post. And they're off. In the middle, it's Mia Vida who gets the first call. Moving out the rail, the beach goes on, has speed. Up between horses is Zozachero, who's not far away, trying to get over from an outside gate is the race favorite Bella Veneno. Joining the top flight is La Cantera, but she'll be at least 4 wide. Nashville Slew is headstrong between horses. In the run around the first turn, Luis Saez and the beach goes on. Lead by a length and a quarter. Mia Vida now second. Nashville Slew fighting the rating. She's now third. Up on the outside, La Cantera is there fourth. On her back is race favorite Bella Veneno. She's only 2 lengths off the lead here. Then back between to Cam's Princess. Along the rail is Cheese. Out 3 wide is Mitriguena. Then it's a length and a half to Better Than Better. She's racing together with Zozachera. Shidu Kitten is 3 wide. She's second last here. The trailer is Tavria. And the leader is still The Beach Goes On. The beach goes on, heads down the backstretch in front by a length and a quarter through a 48 1/2 mile. Mia Vida second, La Cantera third, Nashville Slew fourth. Bella Veneno is now racing in fifth from Cam's Princess, who's along the rail. Mitriguana is next, dropping back after checking hard with Zozachera as they round the far turn. The beach goes on, has the lead. Yellow Cap, La Cantera getting started on the outside, getting ready to launch off her back is race favorite Bella Veneno, trying to wind it up from the back. Mitriguana as they're at the top of the stretch. Toward the inside inside, the beach goes on. In the middle, La Cantera. Outside, Bellavenino. Fourth is Nashville Slew. They're an eighth of a mile from home. Bellavenino trying to get in a touch, but now she's straightened up a bit and she's in front. The beach goes on is back to second, but the favorite's a winner. Bellavenino on top by a length and a half at the wire. The beach goes on second. La Cantera was third, and Mitraguena ran fourth in 134 and 4. Number 11, Bellavenino was the winner. Number 1, The Beach Goes On was second. Number 9, La Cantera was third. Number 12, Mitraguena ran fourth. Fifth, number 4, Cam's Princess. Now returning to the winner's circle, fifth race winner 11, Bellavenino by Get Stormy out of Lancelot's Lady by Gauntlet. Bred by Mount Joy Stable in Kentucky, owned by Bill and Corinne Heiligbrot, trained by Safi Joseph Jr. The winning rider is Irad Ortiz Jr. 6-5 to start the late pick 5. Race 6 is next. We begin the late pick 4 on the Tapeta track at a mile and 70 yards. Scratch the 4 Panati. It's a field of 7. Win, play, show, exact the trifecta, superfecta, daily double pick 3, and late pick 4 possibility. Post time for race 6, 3:12. The exacta $23.40. The trifecta $15.30. Superfecta $807.90. $80.79 for a dime. Daily double $9.20. The pick three good for $7.50. All four in the early pick four good for $14.55. All five in the early pick five. That's a return of $70.10. 134 and 4 the final running time for race winner Bellavenino. And they're off.
Race 6 this afternoon is going to be 1 mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta. These are claimers, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. Etc. We're going to scratch the number 4, Penadian here, and it kicks off Samantha, the late pick 4, and our buddy Brian put a ticket together.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it here, and it's a competitive sequence, some good racing coming up in the latter half of the card. He's spreading in these next 2 races, and you see the 8. His single there, that is Breezy Bella from Mike Yates, who was a runaway winner at Tampa last out. And in the finale, a very competitive one. He's got the 1, Cocktail War, the 4, Just Relax, the 5, Lower Broadway, I think will be tough, and the 8, Blue Casanova, trying the turf.
He just missed one in there. You're a long shot there, too.
Yes.
How about it? So how about using that one, too, when you put your tickets together? Add one more. So we'll get back to this race. And, boy, the buzz has been around about the number 5, who you started off with, Marsha, for the red-hot Nolan Ramsey barn.
Yeah, you said it, Ron. And this horse returning to the Tapeta now, especially in a group like this. This is a fantastic spot for her today. She finished second last time she was here on the Tapeta, and that was against a very tough, competitive group. And I love the fact that she's back here. She got a little bit of a tune-up at Tampa last time out and ran quite well considering everything. But now she'll get back to her preferred surface, I think.
Yeah, that was on the turf up at Tampa. That's that starter handicap series they have. There's some hard-knocking horses there. So this horse coming off the bench, coming back to Topita, and you can see all the interest at 8-5. What about the number 8 horse in here, Samantha? And that's Parallel. And this one from Carlos David, going to break from the outside. This one gets its claiming tag sliced right in half.
Yeah, and I think that should really help because the race that she's exiting out of the Mrs. Tart race, that was a competitive one, and there are some horses we'll see next week coming back out of that race. So maybe watch this, and we'll go from there coming in on Wednesday. But I think that the drop-in class is probably where she needs to be.
Yeah, and you look two back, that horse Hashima, a repeat winner, that horse would be even money, I think, in this spot. We got a stat on Carlos David doing this, 50% drop in claiming price all over, just all surfaces and everything past 4 years, 18%, 58% in the money. So he's going to be right there at the wire. Edgar Zayas in the saddle today. Now, what do you do with the inside horse in here? And that's Yeah Thunder. This is when Mike Maker jumping in and claiming this horse.
I think that it's dangerous here when Mike Maker claims a horse, especially you look at the form. She really is just a Topita horse, and Mike Maker usually will spend a little bit more money on horses, not a 17.5 type of claimer. So I think it's significant. I think that the barn is kind of starting to trend back in the right direction after a little bit of a lull the last couple weeks, but last weekend actually got up on the podium a couple of times, and that's a good sign.
Hey, Luis Saez in the saddle. I think that's going to help. Then you got the number 6 horse in here. That's More Than Glory. This one from the Mary Lightner barn. Dropping down this afternoon. This one, you look at the price right now. The 6 was 4-1. Taking that money. So maybe this horse for supers.
Yeah, definitely. Because the groups that she's been against, especially you look at the Colonial race back in September, Miss Astor has won stakes out at Santa Anita lately. So I think that that's quite flattering as far as this field goes. But now it's just a matter of how will she like this trip.
Yeah, I mean, last time she ran for 10 furlongs, a mile and a quarter at Turfway Park. This is going to seem like the old jiggy jog in the park at this almost 80,000 in the pick 4 pool. Good luck, everybody.
Stepping onto the track for race number 6, we start the late pick 4 on Topita track at a mile and 70 yards. Scratch the 4, Panati. It's a field of 7. Win, play, show, exacta, trifecta, superfecta, daily double pick 3, and late pick 4 possibility. It's a late pick 4. It's race 6. It's up next. Post time 3:13. Post time in 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes until post time. Approaching the starting gate. Final call for your wagers. The horses are at the gate. It's now post time. Moving in for a start. 3-2, Marsha. More Than Glory, Sal's Dream Girl. Parallel draws the outside. The gray Parallel and the black and green of Brian Cohen's BC Racing will complete the line. They're at the post. And they're off. Parallel and Sal's Dream Girl, the two outside runners, were away quickly, and they'll try to clear some inside traffic. Oh Ya Thunder is at the rail into third. The race favorite Marsha is now fourth off heels a touch and tapped on the brakes. Then Don't Mess With Tess racing inside of More Than Glory. The early trailer is Dubstep. In the run around the first turn, Sal's Dream Girl is in front today. She leads by a length early from Parallel in second. Oh Ya Thunder gets a good trip. Don't Mess With Tess is fighting with David Egan, and right now Don't Mess With Tess is very keen. Marsha herself is pretty keen, but the reason for that is the quarter was 26-1. There's zero pace on here. Parallel is allowed to stride up and around Sal's Dream Girl and may start to put on some speed now. The second quarter will definitely be quicker than the first. From third, it's Oh Ya Thunder, then Marsha. Don't Mess With Tess is next. The two at the back, Dubstep and More Than Glory. They make their way to the half-mile point. The half-mile was 51 seconds flat, and Parallel working way out in the center, trying not to light herself up too much, and she strides clear. Around the turn on top by two, Sal's Dream Girl is second. Marsha given the green light by Gonzalez. She's third, but she hasn't gained any significant ground yet. Oh Ya Thunder, meanwhile, has lost ground since the last call. She's driven by Saez 5 lengths behind. They reach the top of the stretch through 3 quarters in 14-2. Parallel has this to throw away. She's on top by 2.5. Marsha flat to the boards to try to go get her. Backpedaling now is Sal's Dream Girl down the center. Don't Mess With Tess. They're an eighth of a mile from home, but Parallel has something in the tank here. Marsha begins to gain late ground. Parallel's wandering outside. Marsha. Parallel. Marsha. Parallel wins. Marsha cut it down to 3 parts of a length while second, 4 ahead of Don't Mess With Tess. Then Oh Ya Thunder in race 6 at Gulfstream. 8-5, 2-1-6, 142 and 3/5 the final time. Parallel's a winner. Took advantage of a very slow early pace. Edgard Zayas kept her out the center. Sal's Dream Girl was alongside, but Parallel got to relax while working out the center. Didn't see or hear Sal's Dream Girl. That was the plan anyway. It worked as Parallel snuck away and held on for a 4-1 victory. It's 8-5, 2-1-6. Race 7 is next. First leg of your first racing coast-to-coast pick 5. It's Payzone against Mish and Great Navigator. Win, play, show, exacta, trifecta, superfecta, daily double, and pick 3 wagering. Post time for race 7 is 3:42. Now returning to the winner's circle, the winner of race number 6, number 8, Parallel, by Valiant Minister out of Aerospace by Invasor, bred by Susan Gannon, Warren Miller, and Carol Reitman in Florida, owned by BC Racing, trained by Carlos David. The winning rider is Edgard Zayas. Riding double for Edgard Zayas, Parallel's a 4-1 winner to start the late pick 4. The exacta $20, the trifecta $28.90, superfecta $179.20, $17.92 for a dime. Daily double $25, the pick 3 $28.50. 142 and 3 for Parallel.
At the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance, we believe in giving every thoroughbred a second chance.
And thanks to you, the owners, trainers, breeders, and every supporter,
You've created a ripple effect of change that's helping these magnificent animals move on to new careers and safe, fulfilling lives after racing.
Every single donation, whether big or small, is contributing to a brighter future.
But this race is just beginning. Because of you, we have gained incredible momentum, and we're ready for more.
Jackie's Warrior quickly in front here by 2 lengths. Here comes Jackie's Warrior up the inside to take over the lead from Life is Good. And Jackie's Warrior remains undefeated here at Saratoga, and he wins an unprecedented Grade 1 stakes at the Spa for the 3rd straight season.
Race number 7 this afternoon, a 6-furlong allowance optional claimer, and this one is a really interesting race. Small field, we have the scratch of the number 2 Gatsby early this morning, so we're going to deal with 5 horses in this race, but there's some pretty nice horses in this race, Samantha.
Yeah, there really is, and it does start that coast-to-coast pick 5, and we'll show you the sequence of the races, and it's a competitive sequence here, and I don't want to say you have a free square with Mish, but here you have it, race 7, 8, and 9. It's just a 1-hour window, a very competitive little sequence. I like that rapid fire return on investment, 15% low takeout, $1 minimum.
Yeah, and that 9th race from here is a really nice race on the turf, so that concerns some interest. If you got a horse you like and you can get a really nice payout because it always pays great. It's got the low 15% takeout. Big 4 to 5 favorite in here is Mish, and Mish, we showed this race earlier today, was very impressive last time out. Just drew off, and the horse that was second in the race, Gatsby, is one of those horses that scratched.
Yeah, he was just so impressive, and the thing with him is I think maybe, at least I was a little burned by him in his races before that. He just kind of seemed a little bit off form, but the Lone Star race back in May took a lot out of him, and then he came back in November and looked like he was going to run better to his stablemate in Pegasus 2025 champ Wyatt Barrio, but kind of got into some trouble at the gate and came back in big fashion. I just don't see a world in which that doesn't happen for him again today.
Well, do you make anything of he's the only horse in the race in for a tag, $62,500? I mean, Gatsby was, but he scratched out. So do you make anything of it? Or?
I don't. It's a big price for a horse that is 8 years old now, does not have any conditions, is a gelding. I don't take too much out of that. This is just where you got to go.
What about the number 1 Great Navigator? This one from Eddie Owens' barn. It comes off the bench at 7 furlongs. It runs a very nice race. Hadn't been seen since August.
Yeah, it was a huge run off the layoff, and I love that. And I've always been such a huge fan of this horse. I was there at Monmouth when he broke his maiden, actually, Ron, and he's just been very cool, all in all, and coming off that layoff like he did for some much-needed time off. I think I remember I talked to Eddie Owens, and he was just saying we needed to give him a little bit of break. He had a hard campaign last year, and he came back in nice fashion. He's eligible to bring another big race forward.
And as they say up there, he's a New Jersey bred, so we'll see how he
Yeah.
runs in there. Now, the horse that I had on top was the number 6 horse in here, and that's Payzone from Rohan Crichton. He comes off the bench. Boy, he was up on the engine last time and just got a little leg weary in the stretch.
Yeah, he did, and it was a very nice effort, too, especially when you look at his kind of layoff that he had. The Keeneland race took a lot out of him, I think, and so the fact that he came back like this, it's a great sign. And look at this, first after the 31 to 60 days dirt sprints that you found.
Yeah, 22%, 57% of the money good. Now, that last race was 25 optional claimer. This is 62.5, but he's knocked heads with similar competition in the past.
Yeah, he has, and I think he fits perfect in a race like this. As far as conditions go, it's just a matter of can you get by Mish?
Yeah, let's see. And what about 5 Beeline? If you go 2 starts back in the Pate Mile, look who won that race. Caesar Gray, who came back and won the Preakness. So this horse was right there with the good horses. They put him on the bench after he went a little sour.
Yeah, and the Riley Mott barn, fantastic work in just the past year that we've seen with him. And this horse, 2 for 2 across the track. You got to like that.
Yeah, 2-1 on the board. 4 to 5 right now. They're on the track for race number 7. Kicks off the coast to coast.
Stepping onto the track for race number 7, it starts your first racing coast to coast pick 5, 6 furlongs of the journey. Scratch the 2 Gatsby, field of 5, win play show, exacta trifecta, superfecta, daily double and pick 3 wagering. Post time in 5 minutes, post time 3:44. 5 minutes until post time. Arriving at the starting gate, final call for your wagers. The horses are at the gate. It's now post time. Coast to Coast Pick 5 begins right here with an odds-on favorite in the gray Mish. Irad Ortiz Jr. up for C2 Racing Stable. Draw me outside. Payzone will complete the line. They're in the gate. Ready at 6 furlongs. And they're off. Mish was quick to break the line toward the outside pay zone, toward the inside Great Navigator, and sent between Banded Rocket. The only one that didn't try for the lead is Beeline, who's ridden to keep up. 4 in line in the run past the opening quarter. Down inside, Great Navigator takes the lead. Mish defers. He'll sit fourth at angle to the clear. Payzone is on the attack now. Back to third went Banded Rocket, then Mish. He's off the speed today. That's not exactly his game, and the trailer is Beeline. Around the far turn they go. The leader is Payzone, striding clear to a length and a half lead. Great Navigator is now second. Mish has made it up to third and continues to progress. Back to fourth and Banded Rocket. Beeline's had pace ahead of him as they whistled a quarter in 22 seconds flat. Payzone has the lead, but here's Perez on Great Navigator, who's back for more inside. Mish is 3 wide and tries to go with them. At the inside, Great Navigator has the lead. Mish trying to get to him. That's all for Payzone. They're an eighth of a mile from home. Great Navigator has the lead by 2.5. Mish is second. He's not done trying, but he hasn't made any ground. Great Navigator with a 16th to go has the lead. It's Great Navigator and Edgar Perez to win by a length and a half. Mish was second. Beeline third. Payzone fades to be fourth in 1:10-1. One's a winner, Great Navigator. 4 is second, Mish. 5 is third, Beeline. Fourth is 6, Payzone. Fifth, number 3, Banded Rocket. 1:10-1. In the winner's circle now, it's Eddie Owens trained Great Navigator by Sea Wizard out of All Even by Stephen Got Even. Bred in New Jersey by Holly Crest Farm, owned by the Holly Crest Farm. The winning rider is Edgar Perez. Race 8 is next, third leg of your first racing Coast to Coast Pick 5. A field of 8 goes 6 furlongs here. Win, play, show, exacta, trifecta, superfecta. Daily double wagering. Post time is 4:12. Exacta $24.20, trifecta $12.90, superfecta $34.80, $3.48 for a dime, daily double $40.40, the pick 3 $81.30. 110-1 for Great Navigator.
rumblings started early and only intensified, with performances that sent shockwaves across the nation. At the center of it all,
Epicenter is at the top of the 3-year-old class in the Run Happy Travers.
Epicenter, 3-year-old champion by Not This Time. Coolmore America, home of champions.
And they're off. Uncle Chili bounced out alertly. Excessive Thievery and Papa Loves Vegas. Papa Loves Vegas now takes a narrow lead. Then Bo's Buddy and Proud Racer was off slowly and is now angled to the outside. And Bo's Buddy is losing ground with every jump. Down the backstretch, Papa Loves Vegas just in front. Uncle Chili a neck back second. 3 more to Excessive Thievery. A gap of 5 to Proud Racer and a distance to Bo's Buddy. Around the far turn, Papa Loves Vegas is the leader. At the rail, Uncle Chili keeping pace. They pass the 3/8 pole together, and now Uncle Chili asserts himself and takes the lead. 5 lengths back to Proud Racer, trying to make some ground third, and then Excessive Thievery. Uncle Chili puts away Papa Loves Vegas at the top of the stretch. Proud Racer running on willingly in the center of the racetrack as they come toward the 8th pole. Uncle Chili 4-length lead. Proud Racer clearly second. And then it's Papa Loves Vegas in third. They pass the 16th pole, and it's Uncle Chili by 4. And Uncle Chili will take care of business here as a heavy favorite. Uncle Chili by 4 lengths. Proud Racer second, at least 8 or 9 back to Papa Loves Vegas.
Race 8 this afternoon, 6 furlong sprint on the fast main track, an allowance optional claimer, state-bred fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, no scratches. Jockey changes, a clean slate to get into the first half of the late daily double. Big favorite right now at 7-5 is the 6, Pleasant Embrace. One of the horses will be, well, let's start with Pleasant Embrace.
Let's start with her. She is the daughter of Bouchero, coming off of 2 back-to-back victories, one of those at Monmouth Park, one of those at Parks. It's kind of hard to believe in that type of form, especially with the competition that she was facing there. But what I like about here, Ron, is they put her back in a good spot. This is a great spot to make your return in 2025 to the races, too, for trainer Kelly Breen. I think that there's some intent here, especially with jockey Joel Rosario being named aboard. And she looks fit enough for layoff, for her return from the layoff. I was just getting a better look at her here as we rolling around in the chair. And the thing with her I like is a lot of these other fillies and mares in this group, Ron, have something to prove, and I think she's kind of proved it already, and now it's just keeping her about the same and happy.
Well, what do you make of those 2 works up in Palm Meadows? You got a Bullet, back-to-back Bullet works. The last one, best of 101 horses at the distance. Did you see these works?
They were not on XBTV. I looked because I wanted to see how she did it, because it always makes a big difference if you're driving on a horse to make them go 47 flat or a minute flat. You don't want to see that. You want them to do it in hand, and that's why it's so important and so helpful whenever you do get to see works like that. But going in it blind, she's just a very good-looking filly, very athletic one at that. So I think that we're ready. We're pointing in the right direction.
The number 2, Breezy Bella, trained by Cowboy Mike Yates. This one, comes off the bench, the long layoff, and just wins for fun up at Tampa Bay, being an daughter of Cajun Breeze. Talking about bullet works, this one's got a bullet work up at Tampa.
Yeah, she does, and she is very, very quick. This is one that I'd like to ride, one that you break from the gate and you just hang on and let them do the rest. And honestly, that was some of the best racing advice I ever got, was stay out of the horse's way, and that's what you have to do with her today. Sonny Leon did it with her in Tampa across the slop. They just had a fun day playing in the rain, and Miguel Vasquez today, he knows what's under him. He can read a form. Let's get out to the front and see how far we go.
The number 8, Sophie Storm, is going to turn back from 7 furlongs to 3/4 of a mile for Sam Walensky, and this horse certainly fits in the bunch here.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a horse that I thought she ran well off the layoff. We'll see how she'll kind of come back here now, third start in the form cycle, as they're on the track for the Late Daily Double.
Stepping onto the track for the 8th race, third leg of your first Racing Coast to Coast Pick 5, 6 furlongs the journey. It's a field of 8. Win, play, show, exacta, trifecta, superfecta, daily double wagering. Post time in 5 minutes, post time at 4:15. 5 minutes until post time.